We are pleased to confer the Honorary Doctor of Laws degree today. Dr. Ellen Cahoon, will you please present the honorary degree recipient, the Honourable Judith Guichon.
Madam Chancellor, it is my privilege to introduce the Lieutenant Governor of British Columbia, the Honourable Judith Guichon, to the fall graduating class of 2017. 5 years ago, Her Honour was appointed to represent the Crown, to uphold our constitutional framework, and to celebrate, inspire, and connect British Columbians. Since then, she has visited urban centres, sites of industry and schools, and villages from Atlin to Zeballos to encourage citizens in their service to the province, the environment, and each other. She has hosted heads of state to support and strengthen British Columbia's global relationship, and she has acted as a unifying link in the constitutional and political structure of the province. Her Honour's motto on her official coat of arms reads, "Relationships, respect, and responsibility." Her abiding belief that integrity and respect are essential to healthy relationships between people and the land is reflected in these words, and also in her devotion to connecting and strengthening bonds between the province's urban and rural populations. Her commitment to natural resources, conservation, and sustainable agriculture has been inspired by her life and career in the Nicola Valley in the interior of BC. As a rancher and a business owner, she was a leader in holistic farming management and advocated widely for sustainable agriculture. It was for these principles that their ranch received the Environmental Stewardship Award from the Canadian Cattlemen's Association in 2002. The Lieutenant Governor's long-standing connection to the land inspired her to create the Stewards of the Future program to encourage and support secondary students to get outside and explore their own communities and to discover unique attributes, identify and research key issues of concern, and investigate stewardship initiatives. In the last year alone, she has visited over 150 schools in British Columbia to speak with students about Canada's constitutional monarchy, to encourage their participation in the Canadian democratic system, and to share ideas about a healthy and a sustainable future for everyone. To say she has been tireless in her efforts is an understatement. She received the Order of British Columbia and the Queen Elizabeth for the second Diamond Jubilee Medal of 2012, and she is the Knight of the Most Venerable Order of the Hospital of St. John in Jerusalem. In 2017, she also received an Honorary Doctorate of Laws from Vancouver Island University. For her contributions to the social, political, and environmental sustainability of the province of British Columbia, it is my honor to present the Honourable Judith Guichon for the degree Doctor of Laws honoris causa.
Your Honour, by the authority vested in me by the Royal Roads University Act and on the recommendation of the Royal Roads University Board of Governors, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Laws honoris causa with all the rights, privileges, and honours here and elsewhere thereto appertaining. Her Honour will now be hooded by Dr. Steve Grundy. Dr. Ellen Cahoon will now present Her Honour with her degree.
This just proves it, so you just turn this on.
It is with great pleasure that I now call on the Honourable Dr. Judith Guichon to deliver the Convocation Address.
Wow. Excuse me while I collect myself. What an honor, what a tremendous honor this has been. Thank you to everyone. Ms. Kathleen Burney, Chancellor and Chair of the Board of Governors, Royal Roads University, and Dr. Alan Cahoon, President and Vice Chancellor. Distinguished faculty members, staff, alumni, honored graduates, students, families, and friends. And to Chief Sam, is Chief Sam still with us? There he is, right here. And Hashmai. It's truly an honor to join you today to mark this important accomplishment for all of today's graduates. I would like to begin by recognizing with respect the long history, the wisdom, and the culture of the Songhees and Esquimalt people of the Lekwungen-speaking nations on whose traditional territory we're privileged to gather. And thank you for getting us started in that good way. What a rich, vibrant society we are. And I say that not because we live in big houses, especially mine, and have lots to eat, but rather because we have this wealth of well-educated, eager young people emerging from our universities, our colleges and training centers, and you're full of energy, enthusiasm, and eager to take on the world. Those of us who are thinking about slowing down, and we better watch out because we might get run over. These young folks are out to take over, and we welcome them. To today's new graduates, I want to say congratulations on your wonderful accomplishment. I know you have worked very hard to get your degree, but, and there's always a but, isn't there? This is just the beginning. The degree is the key to open so many doors. Now you will have to choose your path, which way you will go from here, how and where you will continue your adventure of lifelong learning. None of us can predict what skills and degrees the future will favor, but one thing I can predict, you will have to be flexible and enjoy change and adaptation. Several years ago, I had the honor of being involved in the opening of the Robert Bateman Gallery in Victoria and to attend Mr. Bateman's 83rd birthday celebration. We were addressed that evening by Richard Louv, author of The Last Child in the Woods and Nature Principle. Mr. Louv coined the phrase nature deficit disorder, which he describes as the growing development of health care issues, both physical and emotional, related to loss of contact with nature and lack of unorganized physical activity. We who live in this beautiful location with the ocean at our doorstep and Mount Washington not far away find it hard to believe that we could have people in our communities who suffer as a result of too little exposure to nature and too much time with electronics. But the Victoria Foundation's semi-annual Vital Signs publication reported some years ago that over 1/2 of Canadian children and teens are not healthy enough. In his speech, Mr. Louv challenged us to create a new vision of the future that is much more than sustainable. After all, he asked, would you want a sustainable marriage? No, I don't think so. Louv urges us, if we hope to improve the quality of life for our children and for generations to come, we need a larger vision, a vision of the future as seen through the eyes of Robert Bateman. So how does all this relate to you graduates of the class of 2017? This is where my sales pitch comes. I challenge you folks with your newly minted degrees to join me in my quest to promote a holistic future where we have healthy land, healthy people, and healthy communities based on a foundation of respect, relationship, and responsibility. Be the leaders who will inspire and promote a future for all generations to follow that is so much more than sustainable. A vision as predicted by Richard Louv, a vision of the future as seen through the eyes of Robert Bateman. Around the world, there's much chaos at the moment, and there are some who question warnings of climate change. You vibrant young scholars are equipped with the art of critical thinking and the science of careful judgment. You are the leaders who will create a future for this diverse province and our wonderful country that is both civil and sustainable, a future based on respect and equality and soundly grounded on a healthy, biodiverse land base and ecosystem. You will need to gather experience and wisdom from all sources. You will need the latest technology, the best science, and the wisdom of traditional knowledge, as well as a vision for the future that is in tune with the natural world as you imagine our Canada 2067. Your vision must incorporate all the colorful threads that have woven together to create the fabric of this vast nation. Some of those are bright and colorful, like our beautiful red maple leaf flag. Some, like the railroad, have histories of hardship and grief. We have black features in our history, and there have been grave errors and injustices. But our gradual development has allowed us to learn, to forgive and be forgiven, and to grow, not in territory, but to grow in understanding, diversity, inclusiveness, and to grow in spirit. 2017 has been both our sesquicentennial and also a year of reconciliation. During one of the paddling journeys, which I was privileged to enjoy this summer, we came up with a new word in our canoe, reconciliation. I spell it with another L and a C. We've talked long enough, and now we move forward together in reconciliation. We move forward to a shared experience so that in 2067, as we commemorate our 200th anniversary, we may all celebrate our progress as a nation that respects and values all her citizens. Royal Roads University is in the business of instilling vision by connecting people, ideas, and experiences to change lives around the world. Thank you for continuing to produce graduates who will find creative solutions to the ever-changing challenges. Thank you for continuing to inspire minds, both young and not so young. Congratulations, graduates, on this wonderful milestone today, and please remember to thank those who have encouraged you and perhaps prodded and maybe pleaded a little and helped you to reach this marvelous milestone. May the road ahead be as exciting and successful one for you all. Thank you.